The pills, powders, and gummies are often marketed as an easy way to keep your gut healthy, but some studies actually are finding that some of these live microorganisms could actually disrupt healthy function.
But in this lecture, we're going to look at the fascinating process that breaks that food that you're probably dreaming about, that you had Sunday lunch, to microscopic little particles, absorb it into your blood.
A very interesting part of your body is called the gastrointestinal tract. Your gastrointestinal tract is about 8 meters long. It starts at the mouth and ends at the other end.
The mouth's pH is an alkaline pH.
All the food goes into the mouth, so the mouth is the first organ of digestion. The mouth is the only area that we have control over when it goes in. Barbara O'Neill explained that once the molars come through at the back, they begin to grind food.
And there are only 2 food groups that are broken down in the mouth. A lot of people don't even realize that anything starts its breakdown in the mouth. The enzyme that's released in the mouth that breaks down starch is called ptyalin.
With the molars fully developed, the enzyme ptyalin is released by the glands in the mouth, which then breaks down starch. This is significant because what we grind are typically grains, so until a baby has molars.
And ptyalin is what's often called a salivary amylase. The salivary amylase breaks down starch. It doesn't totally break it down. As you'll see as we go down the journey, it begins the breakdown.
They should not be given any grain. However, the first food that mothers are often advised to give their babies is cereal, which is pure starch. O'Neill explained that starch begins its breakdown in the mouth, provided that the child has a full set of molars. Teeth serve an essential purpose. They should be used to chew food until it is almost a liquid.
When children are born, they have no teeth and they have no salivary amylase.
After chewing, the food moves down the esophagus through the cardiac sphincter and into the stomach. The stomach is the next organ in digestion and operates in an acidic environment, which is crucial for its function.
And 2/3 of those gastric glands release mucus. And what that does is that provides a thick mucosa wall.
The stomach's lining folds are aligned with gastric glands. 2/3 of these gastric glands release mucus, creating a thick mucosal layer that protects the stomach from its acidic contents.
Protecting the stomach about what is released in here. Now what's released here is pepsinogen, and the other enzyme that's released there is hydrochloric acid.
In the stomach, pepsinogen and hydrochloric acid are released. In an acidic environment, pepsinogen and hydrochloric acid combine to form pepsin, the enzyme responsible for breaking down protein. Therefore, the stomach primarily breaks down protein using pepsin. Hydrochloric acid plays a crucial role.
Now, in an acid environment, pepsinogen and hydrochloric acid unite to release pepsin,
as it not only helps form pepsin, but also acts as an antifungal and antibacterial agent, eliminating any potential pathogens on the food. Hydrochloric acid's strong acidic nature.
And pepsin is the enzyme that breaks down protein. So the only food that's broken down in the stomach is protein, and it's broken down by pepsin.
Ensures that pepsin doesn't damage the stomach lining. Additionally, the stomach releases intrinsic factor, which is vital for absorbing vitamin B12. B12 in food is bound to an R protein.
Let's pretend that this is B12. In food, B12 is bound up with an R protein. And when B12 and the R protein come into the stomach,
and when it enters the stomach, hydrochloric acid separates B12 from the R protein. Intrinsic factor then binds with the free B12 and travels through the gut to the last part of the small intestine, where the B12 is absorbed. Low levels of vitamin B12 could indicate a deficiency in hydrochloric acid.
Hydrochloric acid breaks that union. What also is released in the stomach is intrinsic factor,
or a problem with intrinsic factor production. Once vitamin B12 is absorbed, it undergoes enterohepatic circulation.
No, we won't have him to drink. Oh, we'll just bring you water. Now, if we say no, thank you, every waiter in the restaurant is coming to us. You don't have water? We let them put the water there. Okay, it just keeps them quiet.
connecting the digestive system with the liver, allowing B12 to circulate constantly. This means that someone can have no B12 in their diet for up to 30 years before showing signs of a B12 deficiency.
I think it's because people are so busy, they've got no time and they sit to eat. Oh, I haven't drunk. And then they drank water.
Therefore, when addressing a B12 deficiency, the first consideration is the function of the stomach. One indicator of low hydrochloric acid is if a person feels full for 6 hours after a meal.
All your starch digestion is put on hold because we're now in an acid stomach. And then we move through and come to the first part of the small intestine.
Strong hydrochloric acid, in conjunction with pepsinogen, should break down food quickly. There are few cases of excessive stomach acid. If someone complains of an overacidic stomach, the issue might not be the acid itself, but possibly dehydration or a lack of mucus, which is 99% water.
Which is called the duodenum. And the duodenum has two main organs that are emptying into it. Notice we've got the liver here, the gallbladder. The gallbladder is a reservoir for bile. And
if acid seems to come up, the problem might be a weak cardiac sphincter, not excess acid. This sphincter should remain closed to prevent acid reflux. Weakness in the sphincter can be due to lying down after eating large meals, which puts pressure on it, or stress.
Easy to digest. But you can see if stomach is not acid enough and pepsin can't break down protein, then protein comes into the duodenum,
which can also cause muscle tightness and dysfunction. To address reflux or heartburn, consider eating breakfast like a king, lunch like a queen, and dinner like a pauper, and taking magnesium 3 times a day. If someone uses antacids to prevent acid from rising,
and trypsin and chymotrypsin, they just start the breakdown, and they should be finalizing the breakdown. At every stage, every organ's role is very important.
it might not address the underlying problem. The next step in protein digestion occurs in the stomach. If protein is not broken down adequately due to long-term low hydrochloric acid levels, partially digested protein can reach the large colon.
Now, we don't serve any wheat or dairy or refined sugar or alcohol at our health retreat. You've probably noticed. I gave him slippery elm 4 times a day, morning, noon, 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. at night.
The body then creates excess bacteria to handle this, which can lead to issues such as colon cancer. If someone has been on antacids for 25 years, they may not be addressing the root problem.
And I gave him a double dose of probiotic. You see, he told me he walks by the beach every morning, and where he walks, there are 4 restrooms on his walk. He's got to, because he's got to keep going in.
One common issue affecting hydrochloric acid production is drinking liquids with meals, which dilutes stomach acids and impairs digestion. This is a common habit in American and Australian dining culture. To avoid this, it is recommended to stop drinking water, ideally half an hour before a meal, and resume about an hour and a half afterward.
Isn't a mistake. Did you know that? The appendix is a very important organ. It has a nickname. It's called the colon's oil can.
Large amounts of fluid during meals can dilute digestive enzymes, reducing their effectiveness. The stomach needs a rest period between meals, ideally 5 to 6 hours, as it takes about 3 to 4 hours to digest food and prefers a 1-hour rest.
Because what the appendix does, it lubricates the contents that come out so they can pass with ease through the colon. The appendix...
Children and adults alike should avoid frequent eating, as it may lead to inadequate digestion. Often what appears as hunger between meals may actually be dehydration.
Dog's digestive tract is about 1.5 meters long, and they're meat eaters. It's in and out quickly.
For instance, if water isn't satisfying, it might be time to eat. Large meals at the end of the day can also exhaust hydrochloric acid, slowing digestion. Whereas
human beings, it's about 8.5 meters long. So by the time it's getting down here, it's putrefying. So this is a warm environment. You just put meat.
And causing discomfort in the morning. Eating smaller, more frequent meals might be beneficial, as demonstrated by individuals like James, who maintains a fast metabolism and manages his meals accordingly.
What this colon needs, and we looked at that a little bit today, it needs fibre. Your vegetables are your highest fibre food. Vegetables are high in fibre.
The stomach primarily breaks down protein, while starch digestion is paused due to the acidic environment. Moving to the small intestine, specifically the duodenum, the digestive process continues. The duodenum receives bile from the gallbladder and enzymes from the pancreas.
High in minerals, low in sugars. Whereas fruit is high in fibre, but it's high in sugars and low in minerals, so your healing foods are more your vegetable foods. One of the main functions of
Bile, which breaks down long-chain fatty acids, unsaturated fats, and pancreatic lipase, which completes the breakdown of these fats, are crucial. Pancreatic amylase finishes starch digestion, which began in the mouth, while trypsin and chymotrypsin finalize protein digestion, which started in the stomach. The pancreas is the main organ of digestion, overseeing many crucial processes.
starting to clean out the colon and get it moving a little bit better. All that is warm water going in and coming out again. So it basically just softens old buildup. Now, as I mentioned to you,
Saturated fats, which begin digestion in the mouth, do not require bile or pancreatic lipase for their breakdown, benefiting those with liver, gallbladder, or pancreatic issues. Coconut oil is highly recommended for its ease of digestion and absorption.
point is the proper position when you sit on the throne to evacuate, to allow this red muscle's called,
Making it an ideal fat choice for those with digestive issues. In the digestive process, protein breakdown begins in the stomach with the enzyme pepsin. However, if stomach acid levels are insufficient, protein digestion can be incomplete.
in many countries today, people still squat. I met a young man, only 25 years of age, and he had a fistula. What's a fistula? You've got one opening in the anus, but another opening here.
Leading to partially digested proteins entering the small intestine. Here, enzymes like trypsin and chymotrypsin further break down the proteins. If starch digestion has been disrupted, pancreatic amylase in the duodenum will complete the breakdown of starches.
He was so embarrassed, as you can imagine. For years he'd had this swelling, and he used to tell his friends that he had this discomfort, and they used to say, "Don't worry about it, it's just hemorrhoids." Finally he married, and his wife was a nurse, and for the first time someone looked at it and she saw a swelling there, and it burst one day and a lot of blood and pus came out.
Most nutrient absorption occurs in the small intestine before reaching its midpoint. By the time the contents reach the large colon, they are mostly liquid and contain minimal nutrients.
But because he continued to eat a bad diet, refined food, lots of wheat, lots of meat, the pressure remained to the point where he now had a fistula, which means a hole came right through there and back through to his anus.
The small intestine's lining, featuring villi covered with a mucosal layer, rich in beneficial bacteria such as Lactobacillus acidophilus and Bifidobacterium, plays a crucial role.
Which is very uncomfortable. So the doctor did a colonoscopy on him and found a whole heap of polyps in here and took the polyps out. 25 years of age.
These microbes aid in the final stages of digestion, the release of B vitamins, and the absorption of nutrients, while also protecting against harmful pathogens and nourishing the gut lining.
I talked to his mother. He had had all the symptoms of a wheat and a dairy intolerance from a very young age.
The human digestive system, much longer than that of carnivores like dogs, provides ample time for the breakdown and absorption of nutrients, unlike dogs, whose digestive tracts are about 1.5 meters long.
But he continued to eat it, not knowing what it was doing to him. So there's two things that had to happen here. One thing is the wheat, dairy, refined sugar had to stop.
Humans have a tract approximately 8.5 meters in length. This extended length means that foods, especially meats, have a longer time to break down, often leading to putrefaction if not properly digested.
I said to him, if you implement stopping the wheat, dairy, refined sugar, you start the slippery arm to heal that, you start doing the sitz baths. I said, do them every night.
Meat, when left in a warm environment like the digestive tract, can decay, exacerbating the digestive process. Meat lacks fiber, which contributes to its tendency to get stuck in the intestinal pockets, promoting further decomposition. When combined with sugars, as found in desserts like ice cream.
How long will that take? 10 minutes? I said, you just got to have the tubs, you just got to make an appointment. I said that will bring a lot of relief.
The decay process is accelerated, leading to toxic waste products. These toxins can cause excessive strain on the appendix, which helps lubricate the colon and manage toxic substances.
The doctor had just put a rubber loop between the fistula and the anus. And the poor man, you know, he could hardly walk, he could hardly sit. 25. That's the first of a series of operations they plan to do.
Overworking the appendix may result in appendicitis. To support colon health, it is crucial to consume a high-fiber diet, primarily from vegetables, which are rich in fiber and minerals, but low in sugars. Hydration also plays a significant role.
Heal itself if you give it the right conditions. You see what may happen, another operation, and then another operation, and oops, it's not working.
As adequate water intake prevents the colon from having to extract too much water from stools, which can lead to constipation. Regular exercise and a diet high in fiber can encourage more frequent bowel movements.
And so now there's too many polyps, and some of the polyps are cancerous. So they now start taking part of the large colon away. And then he has to have a colostomy, which is a hole here with a bag. Whoa, it's not looking good.
In cases of severe constipation or irregular bowel movements, herbal remedies can assist.
People are sick through ignorance. So before we close, let me just go back to the stomach. I looked at what causes a reduction in your hydrochloric acid. How can you increase it?
One such remedy is a tea made from cascara, licorice, and buckthorn, which stimulates colon function without causing addiction. This herbal tea can be effective in promoting regular bowel movements.
Stop drinking with the meal, start having breakfast like a king, lunch like a queen, tea like a pauper, and have the juice of a lemon with a tiny bit of boiling water in it just before the meal, because your lemon is acid.
Though its use should be monitored and gradually reduced as the colon function improves.
And it's a great digestive aid. The other thing you can do is put 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper in a little water and have that just before the meal.
The position during bowel movements also impacts digestive health. Using a stool.
Won't it burn? It actually never burns, it just feels like it. It tingles a little bit, but it will also wake up the gastric glands.
Or a device like the Squatty Potty to mimic a squatting position can facilitate easier bowel movements by relaxing the puborectalis muscle, which helps in the proper evacuation of the colon.
And I personally would prefer someone use the lemon juice or the cayenne pepper because it boosts your stomach to make its own. But if someone has pancreatic problems, pancreatitis,
and reduces strain on the anus, potentially preventing hemorrhoids.
Pancreas that is cancerous, they need the proteolytic enzymes. Many people with pancreatitis or pancreatic cancer die of malnutrition. Can you see why?
Additionally, supporting digestive health through dietary adjustments.
Because the pancreas is the main organ of digestion. So if anyone has pancreatic problems, the proteolytic enzymes, papain and bromelain, are vital for them.
Such as increasing hydrochloric acid production in the stomach with lemon juice or cayenne pepper can enhance digestion.
Products have something called porcine in it, and that's an enzyme extracted from the stomach of the pig. I'm not interested in that. So be mindful when you read your labels.
Proteolytic enzymes from pineapple and papaya also aid in breaking down proteins.
And there are some herbs that are very bitter and they stimulate the release of digestive enzymes, liver enzymes and pancreatic,
which can be beneficial for those with pancreatic issues or digestive disorders. Barbara O'Neill's insights into the digestive process remind us of the importance of proper chewing.
And that is gentian and dandelion
and the vital roles our stomach acids and enzymes play in breaking down food and absorbing nutrients.
And St. Mary's thistle, or sometimes it's called milk thistle. So the beauty of these 3 herbs,
By understanding and supporting our body's natural processes, we can make better dietary choices.
is they will increase digestion in the stomach. They will increase the liver's ability to release its bile, and also pancreas.
And maintain optimal health. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.